Alrighty, well it seems Global really is making its move and the time has come. The big time has come in terms of the character in between the half-year anniversary now for Global to the 1.5-year anniversary characters releasing for Global. There's one character in between that is going to cause a lot, it might cause some people to dive on in, and that is obviously the one and only, the yellow mono support adult Shoko. So yeah, as you guys can see, the weekly events info has dropped, and with the two units in question, we got the new Inumaki, we got the Shoko. There's obviously filler banner. I mean, well, with Shoko releasing, they're also dropping this banner, which obviously indicates more so for the yellow mono, which is fair play to them, but a filler banner. And then as per usual, there'll be your regular events to farm out more cubes, which is fantastic, and then some step ups, which, yeah, I mean, it clearly indicates paid, so nothing to need to be concerned of. But more importantly, Inumaki, Shoko, they are making their presence known. Two solid characters that I thoroughly enjoy. However, kind of breaking it down on who you want to aim for between the two if you are in that sticky position, it will be Shoko. Ultimately, this is going to be the better unit, and ultimately, this is, in my opinion, the only unit between the anniversaries that might kind of get people summoning. What I mean by that, I'm talking about the half-year anniversary that Global had, leading into the 1.5-year anniversary, which is obviously Teen Shoko, Gojo, the God Gojo, of course, right? In between, there's those Shibuya characters that are going to be releasing, as I like to say, and out of all of them, it really is kind of Shoko being like, this is primarily like the only unit which you want to really consider going for. But yeah, she's, wait, when did she drop in? Oh, wow. Wait, whoa. Damn, they are really times two. Okay, yeah, 100% God Gojo is dropping in September, surely, or August. They are really picking up the pace on these characters being released. Alright, alright, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet with the Inumaki. This Inumaki is actually pretty decent. I do like him. Now, with where the content is at with JP and how things are getting a little bit more difficult, respectfully, as much as this Inumaki is decent, the rare Inumaki, in my opinion, especially with the more high up stages, to how your team comp is, and you kind of utilize the ult chase and then sacking him off, rare Inumaki still holds more over the SSR version, in my personal opinion. But this rare Inumaki can help out in, let's say, in a situation where you want to build up some skill, still have that ult chase, but have more of a sub DPS, basically. Then there's some value to be gained in there, but for the most part, for the majority of the content or the more difficulty stages, it really is the strategic play of running that rare Inumaki. So that's why I say right now he's holding a little bit more value over this, although not to say that this rare Inumaki is not horrible. He does apply these, I think this is the, wait, is this the DOT rare Inumaki? Am I tripping? I always forget. It's been a minute since I've used this, man. If selected enemy has any curse, yeah, so curse speech counts, there we go. So yeah, you can do additional damage. So that's what I mean about if you're trying to get some extra damage off. So just to give you guys an example, what I mean by that is right now we've got an event going on here, and I utilized the blue Inumaki to provide that sub DPS. So that's kind of like the fashion which I would be using. So yeah, blue Inumaki. So I've managed to get to the top 3%. We're gonna try and shoot for 100. But it's fine. But anyway, yeah, so that's basically what I'm trying to class him as, on one of the good ways of utilizing this unit. But outside of, you know, applying the counts to do more damage, yeah, it's that second skill which is pretty much an all-in-one, because not only are you able to stun the enemy, but you can also apply a debuff to where the enemy will take an extra 40% of taijutsu and jujutsu. Obviously it's more so for the red mono, so just bear that in mind. And I'm pretty, does he not, oh yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, where's the ult gauge? So with stunning the enemy, applying taijutsu and jujutsu damage received more to the enemy, as well as filling the ultimate gauge. So this is huge. I will say I do like this, although it is a very high cost. You know, it's there. But so again, most tend to just kind of go with the rare Inumaki just for this, because outside of all of this, it's not kind of needed, especially if you're not running any red. So just bear that in mind. But it is quite nice, I will say. And then outside of that, on the third skill, again, it's AoE. You're getting that curse speech being applied. If a more powerful enemy is targeted by this skill, inflict curse speech to all enemies. Wait, 2 count. Oh, okay, yeah. So you get a double count on this one, rather than a regular single count. So basically, your bosses will get the 2 counts right there. So respectfully, what this Inumaki is all about is getting those curse speeches in, allowing him to do more damage over time, the more curse counters that the enemy has, and then obviously having that, you know, that thing that Inumaki is known for through this game, and that is the ultimate chasing. But with the red version, it's just adding a little bit more to it. Again, the ultimate is AoE. You realistically just want to make sure that you're applying as much of this curse speech out, so that we can get the most out of it. If you do want to lower the cost of the skills, you can drop the ultimate, because it does reduce the cost, which is nice. So that way you can actually go about utilizing this. I think this becomes either 15 or 25 now with the Cursed Energy drop. Yeah, it's either 15 or 25. And then the passives at the start of each turn recover own HP by 10%. You've got a 50-50 chance on that one. So yeah, overall when it comes to this, oh, he's still, by the way, sacrificing HP, just bear that in mind. But yeah, basically with this Inumaki, he's more so of a sub DPS, still keeping with that Inumaki trademark with that second skill. But in all honesty, lately with the content, with the more difficult content, I've not been using him as much. Yeah, I've been using more on the red Inumaki, so you're not really losing out on much when it comes to not having this Inumaki or not pulling for this Inumaki, or between the two, should you go for the Inumaki or Shoko. Shoko just holds way too much more value, and she is more used for the more difficult and later content for what JP has soon to be added onto global, of course. So between the two, Shoko's the way. When it comes to Inumaki, he's a decent unit, but unfortunately red Inumaki still holds more over him. But he's not bad, he's still good, just want to clarify. But I'm just letting you guys know that with the strategic play, which a lot of people are utilizing to tackle the more difficult content, red Inumaki is being used more so over. And then in comes Shoko. I mean, there's not really much to chase, you know, in terms of with where yellow typing is at. Do we have any good supports? Yellow typing, I mean, she does pretty much a lot, right? She provides survivability for the team. You've got that healing, which is very nice. With that healing, I believe you can also decrease some form of value for the debuffing, so that's also pretty solid. When it comes to the buffing side of her, of course, you've got to keep in mind that not only is she giving us a Taijutsu and Jujutsu increase of a 62% effective for the yellow ally, so it's more so for the yellow mono, but she's also applying a damage received drop of 15% towards the enemy. So there's a lot on the table to what this Shoko can do in terms of healing, survivability for the squad, as well as the insane buffing that we can apply to ourselves and the debuff towards the enemy, so that way we can do more damage. Keep in mind also with our ultimate, again, extremely solid, giving us that 30%, not 30%, sorry, 45% on the damage dealt increase, right? And then not only that, giving us that ultimate gauge charging rate of 30%, so helping us out to not only do more damage but to chase that ultimate ASAP. So again, just so much more. And of course, how can I forget her passive? If an ally's HP is 40% or below, then she'll recover all allies' HP by 30%. So she won't heal herself, unfortunately, but you've got the second skill with only a cost of 10 Curse Energy to help you out on that one. And I feel like if you use the healing skill with Shoko, it pushes more so for her ultimate gauge. It feels like that to me. But anyway, on top of all of that, with all that healing being done through the passive, she also decreases the value of one of the allies' debuff by 30%. Obviously, the most recent debuff is going to be prioritized, and then up to that, you can use it 3 times. So that's the only downside. 3 times per usage, or per battle, should I say. So just be wary of that. I mean, you can really apply a lot more survivability when it comes to the recollection. So that is one of the strategy play, which in the more difficult stages, when it comes to running for the yellow mono, Shoko is always there. And in terms of providing more, you can really heavily put on more on the recollection page. That way you've got pretty much a vast variety of survivability for the squad, whilst getting those buffs going to leading into your main DPS, whether it be Itadori, Gojo, right, your main yellow DPS, Nanami, to get that damage going, of course, given them time. So yeah, there is a lot, and so obviously there's no denying it, you know, this Shoko is actually worth the pickup. That's why that's why it makes it a little bit more difficult, because like realistically you want to have anniversary to anniversary and just kind of skip it out, but this Shoko just has a ton of value to her, and she is used in the more difficult higher up content for where JP is out soon. Again, soon to be added for global, of course. So that's why I say that there is value to be held with this Shoko and how well she helps and uplifts the yellow mono team. So the only thing I can say is I wish you all the best of luck if you choose to dive your head in, because I mean, I can't sit here and be like, no, stay strong, she's too good for the yellow mono. She does well, so definitely worth the pickup. But again, if you're in that free-to-play spot, just be wary on how much cubes you have. If you're on that low amount, then it might have to be a skip. You might have to. It might have to be a skip. So this is why I say it makes it a little bit more difficult on the globals end, because with the release of the next set of anniversary characters, it's going to be so close towards the globals first year anniversary. So it's a tough one, but I'll leave it as to say that Shoko is definitely worth the power. But anyway, it is a tough one to all my pay-to-win players. I wish you all the best of luck. I know global pay-to-win players are not letting this one go. To be fair, if you're pay-to-win, then it's worth picking up both Inumaki and Shoko, I will say. But I know a lot of people are going to be going for Shoko, of course. To my Dolphins, low spenders, you know, just you only need a copy of Shoko. You only need a copy of Shoko, so hopefully RNG is on your side. And then, of course, when it comes to the free-to-play peeps, just be very wary on the amount of cubes you have. If it's like 30k or less or something like that, I wouldn't bother. You're better off just keep on saving, of course. But yeah, hopefully you get her in the free multi, and maybe if you want to throw maybe 1 or 2 multis to try your luck, then do as you please. But overall, yeah, Shoko, the character which I know a lot of global players have been waiting for, is going to be making her appearance next week on Friday. Yeah, 4th of July. There we go.